Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at the differences between TradingView's indicators and strategies and how you can add alerts on both of them to automate your trades. So under our TradingView, we're going to be loading up indicators. So under indicators, for the video, we'll be using the MACD indicator and strategy. So this one is the indicator and the one of this symbol is the strategy. So I'm going to load that up. And now we should see this at the bottom. So this is because strategies have backtesters built in. And if you're wondering on when to use basically a strategy versus an indicator, it's totally up to you. But strategies allow you to be more in-depth with your analysis and when you're doing your backtest. So you can get like the list of trades for each individual trade, see how they perform, and you don't get that with indicators. Now with that said, the setup process of adding alerts into the code itself also is a bit different, and I find it to be easier with strategies than it is with indicators. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to open up the source code of the strategy. So I'm going to hover over the strategy and select on source code, and we're just going to go ahead and create the working copy. Now we can see at the bottom we have this code that says strategy.entry for the long and the short. And this basically shows the signals here on the chart. So it's going to be this long and this short. Now I'm going to be pasting a small bit of code in here. Now this code basically just gives an entry tip as well as a text box. So if we go to our strategies in settings, you currently see we don't have anything for alerts in here. So by adding this, and we can just go ahead and say long text, we're going to copy that. And if we hover over strategy of the entry, we can see that TradingView gives us this option for alert message. This makes it very easy for us to send alerts using strategies, because all we need to do is go ahead and say alert underscore the message and paste in our long text. And we can do the same thing for the short. So we're going to say alert message, and then we're going to say a short text. Now this is all we need to do, and basically it's going to be connected to whatever we set in our indicators input. So currently again there's nothing there. If I update this down on the chart, we can close the current one we have and just wait for the new one to load. So we can go ahead and select the input, and now you'll see that we have these boxes right here. Now this is designed to work with our board. If you want to try out our board, you can just go to crodltrading.com and get a 30-day free trial. And this is going to show you on how to automate your indicators and strategies. So I'm going to go to my boards now, and I'm going to create a board using Blofin. So if you don't know Blofin or you haven't tried them out yet, there's also a link to that in the description of this video, and by using that link you also help supporting the channel. Now I'm going to go and create my triggers on this board. Click on create triggers, and we're going to select buy and isolated. I'm going to use 5x leverage with 50% of my account, and then we can also add maybe like a 1% take profit and a 1% stop loss. So I'm going to create this trigger, and we can just do the same thing for the short. So if we go to triggers open, we can see we currently have this buy. So all we need to do is select sell this time, 5x leverage, and we can use 50%. We can also set the same exits, and that's going to be 1% and 1. So now you can see we have both of these triggers created. Now you can just copy the trigger. So this one is going to be the buy. As you can see, the side is buy. So we need to paste this under the long right here, and now I can just copy the sell and do the same right here. So do not share your trigger IDs because it's actually connected to your account. But what we can do now is we can save this indicator, and now you can see that the triggers have been stored. So if we go to our alerts, we can create a new alert, and we just need to make sure that we selected the indicates our strategy right here. So now you want to clear everything out in the message, and what I'm doing right here is very important, because if you miss this step it won't work. You need to add double curly brackets here and say strategy.order.alert underscore message. The reason why you need to provide this is because TradingView needs to know that what part of the indicator it needs to send with this alert. And because we're using alert message right here, by adding the order alert message is basically going to be pulling this long text that we set in the input box and send it with our alert. Now the question is, where is it sending it to? And under notifications we can provide a webhook URL, and we're going to be using this webhook URL, which is to our bot. So this is basically the full setup. TradingView would trigger alert, it would send it to the bot with the trigger ID that you've configured on the bot, and then it will trade based on that trigger. So if we go to Blofin now, we can refresh and you'll see that we don't have any trades open. So if we go and save this alert, I am on the 5-second window, so I should get a lot of alerts very frequently. So yeah, this is just for testing. So you can see we have the alert running right here. The next entry is going to be a short, and if we check on the indicator, we just need to wait for it to cross down before we get our short alert message. So right there you can see we just received our short signal and it got triggered. So now on Blofin we can see that we have the short position open with the parameters we set on the bot with the take profit and stop loss. Now the same thing will happen with longs. Since I do have hedging enabled, we should wait for a long alert right there, and now all we need to do is go back to Blofin, and there we can see both of those order triggered. Now I'm just going to pause this so it doesn't keep on trading, but just to go over what I just did is we connected in this indicator the long and the short alert boxes. Then what we did was on the bot we created two triggers, which is going to be a buy and a sell. We connected that to our indicator while strategy in these boxes. We set up an alert, and then every time there's going to be a buy and a sell, it's going to send it to the bot, and the bot will execute that for you. Now you're not really limited to just strategies, you can use this on anything. So I'm going to show you on how you can add these alerts to an indicator as well. So now we're going to look at how we can do the same thing, but this time with an indicator. Now if we go ahead and we click on this indicator source code, all we need to do is create a working copy, which we have right here. And if you scroll down, you'll see that there's already alert conditions in this indicator. Now if your indicator does not have alert conditions, all you need to do is basically type in the alert condition. Then what you want to provide it is the condition. This is going to be whatever is you want to set your alert on, like if it's a crossing up or crossing down, whatever gives your indicator buy or sell, or if this is for exits, whatever is closing your indicator, you want to provide that as the condition. And then you also need to provide a title and then a message as a placeholder. So we can see it in this example, which we have this whatever the condition is. Then we have a rising to falling, which is going to be actually a short, and this one is actually going to be a long. So when it's falling to rising. So now all we need to do is update this on our chart, and we can now go ahead and create an alert on this. So under conditions, we should see our indicator. This in our case is the MACD. So then we have rising to falling. Now if you select this, you should also be able to use some of the TradingView's features, such as crossing up, crossing down, greater than, but it depends on your indicator. Like the MACD is a very simple indicator, and you can use like these built-ins, but because we already programmed in these alert conditions, we can just select our title here in the list. So if we look at the rising to falling, which we have as a short, we can select that, and then we have these four options: only once per bar close, and once per minute. Now the differences between these is only once will only fire one time when the condition has been met, and then it will stop your alert. Once per bar is what you're looking for if you want to fire the alert every time that condition is true. And once per bar close will wait for the condition to be true, but only when the bar closes it would send out the alert. And once per minute, basically it's just every minute it will fire. So I'm going to be using once per bar, and now you can see our message right here, but we want to clear that out. And because this is going to be our short alert, we want to go to our bot and copy this short right here, and we want to paste that in. And also we want to make sure that we have the webhook URL set right here. So we're going to create this, and we're going to do the same for the longs. So all we need to do is create another one, select the MACD, but this time we're going to choose the long, which is the falling to rising, once per bar, and then copy this buy. We're going to paste that in there, make sure we have this webhook message, the URL, and now we can create it. So all we need to do now is wait for a trigger, which is basically going to be when these MACD lines crosses, and then we should see the trade on our Blofin account. So right now we can see we had an alert that triggered, and then if we go back to our Blofin account, we can now see that the bot has placed the long for us, and that's because it crossed up and it triggered that long. So we can see also the short alert triggered just now, and then on the bot both of them are there. So I'm just going to pause this alert. I will delete it. So that's basically it on how you can connect both indicators and strategies with alerts, and on how you can automate them. Now this was just a quick overview. There's a lot more things we can actually do, but I don't want to take up too much time for you guys who just want to see a simple explanation. But if you guys want to see a more in-depth tutorial, leave a comment in the comment section. And if you guys like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also check out our Discord server, and I'll see you in the next video.